Hi folks, and welcome back to Math with Captain Rod. This is going to be video 2 here of a series on the algebra functions. So just like my previous video, we're going to go ahead and walk through all of these things given these two functions, f of x equals x squared minus 1 and g of x equals x squared plus 2x plus 1. Alright, so f plus g. Well, just f plus g is just like you might think. It's this function. I'll go ahead and put that in parentheses. It's not really needed, but plus this function. So there's f plus g. This one can be simplified. X squared plus x squared, those add to 2x squared. Let's see, there's no x term here. Plus 2x, and then negative 1 plus 1. I guess that's a 0, so we'll leave that alone. Alright, so there's f plus g, domain. Right? There's no division by zeros, there's no radicals, so the domain of this guy, all real numbers, defined for every value for x you want to put in there in the real number system. F minus g, x squared minus 1 minus x squared plus 2x plus 1. This parenthesis here, not optional. Got to have that one so we get the correct signs here by the time we do the subtraction. So, and if we go ahead and do that, x squared minus x squared, that's 0, so I'm not going to bother even writing it. There's no linear term, no x term, but there is over here, so you can think of it as 0x minus 2x. And then the constants, negative 1, and then minus 1. So we're going to have negative 2. This is a linear function. There's no radicals or division by zeros, so the domain is all real numbers. All right, f times g. It's going to be our function f times g. Now, we could multiply this out. I'm not going to bother in the video. This is perfectly acceptable. You know, you could do like this times this, this times this, this times this, and so forth. I'm just going to leave it as is and call it done. Let's chat domain. There are no division by zeros anywhere, no radicals, so the domain, all real numbers. All right. Last one, f over g. So that's going to be our function f over our function here for g. Right. Now, this is, I'd say technically done. We could probably do some simplifying here. The top of this factors, that's the difference in two squares, so that's going to factor in x minus 1, x plus 1. The bottom of this thing here, x squared plus 2x plus 1, I believe will factor into x plus 1 times x plus 1. You'll notice here these divide out. Or you could do this division, doesn't really matter, and we're left with x minus 1 over x plus 1. All right, domain. So this one does have a restriction. Again, we have potential for division by 0. So the value for x that would make this 0 is negative 1. So x equals negative 1 cannot be allowed. It's not in the domain of this function. So let's say that the domain is all reals except x cannot equal negative 1. And there's different ways to write that. I think that's good enough for now. All right, I hope that this video helps demonstrate, how to add, subtract, multiply, divide functions, and a little bit about finding the domain of such operations, or the domain of what you get after such operations. Have a great day.